You know, when we were on the red carpet yesterday, we talked about how global this film is, how you guys were able to showcase so many different viewpoints, so many different plus size models from all around. What was the first kind of starting point for you guys in this film? I'd love to know what was that first element.
Basically, I started this film because I personally knew one of the models, Ellie, one of the main subjects. Many years ago, we worked in a restaurant waitressing, and she always said to all of us at work that she wanted to become a model, which it was crazy for us to think that because she was very curvy back then, as her body looks. And this is like, I'm talking about like more than 10 years, 12 years ago. So it was something unheard of to have plus size models being like recognized in the mainstream media, right? So we both left the restaurant and continued our ways. And we kept in touch through Facebook. And in fact, she opened a Facebook page and she became a model locally in Vancouver, where we're from. And I started getting so inspired by her, all the imagery that she started sharing on her Facebook page. It actually got really quickly, it started getting a lot of followers, and people started going like crazy about her looks and just how beautiful she was. And I was absolutely inspired by it because I wasn't used to see these kinds of images anywhere else. She was this curvy model that was beautiful, but also looked like a model. Mm. She looked professional, and her photos were professionally taken. And she had that talent to look like a model, and it was incredible. So through her, I started like investigating a lot about the body positive community and the plus size modeling world. And I got absolutely inspired by all these the people and the community around. And that's when I approached James, the producer, and I said to him, why wouldn't make a documentary about plus size models and use Ellie May as her main subject since she's from Vancouver. And we started from there.
What attracted you to it, James?
To the subject matter?
Yeah, just what made you want, this could be something that'll work?
Well, Giovanna and I went to film school together, and we always wanted to make any film, some kind of film. And then when she brought the idea of the documentary for plus size modeling, I was like, that is an amazing, unbelievable idea. And we went online and looked for another film that was like this, because I couldn't believe that somebody hadn't made this type of film before, because we don't want to duplicate somebody else's effort that have put a lot of work into it. And it's like, oh, well, everybody's already seen that film. And we went online, and there was no film about plus size modeling in the plus size modeling industry. And I was like, I can't believe it, that we're the first ones that are going to make this type of film. So I thought it was an unbelievable project. It had a lot of appeal, because we're not just talking about plus size models, we're talking about body image and self-confidence and representation of people that are not seen in mainstream media and publications on billboards. So there's a lot of different aspects to the film that we do explore, and we could explore, and that's what we thought when we first started the project, that it's such a rich topic. It's not, the models draw the people in because of the beautiful imagery, and we portray the plus size models just as any other model that you see in any beauty campaign. But there's such depth that we could explore in this film, and I thought it was an amazing project, and I just jumped right into it.
I was amazed when you guys got the interviews with the actual, the big companies that do the prints, like Cosmo and those bigger companies. Their immediate reaction to why there hasn't been a plus size model on the covers was, it's just not going to make money. But it's never been attempted or tried. They've never really made that effort. And you guys are pushing the question, why hasn't that happened? How hard was it to get that access? But when you heard that, did it just make more validity to what you were doing? Like, this could be the next, they need to do this. They need to change the kind of the way people view what a cover model should be. I thought that was validation of the film itself, was just hearing them say, well, they can't be on the cover. Well, why not? You're not giving us a reason at all.
Yeah, well, through our work, previous work, before we got to that point of interviewing these magazine editors, we had discovered that these women had no place in mainstream media at all. So we kind of knew the answer they were going to give us, but we needed that answer on camera. Mm-hmm. And nobody was allowing us to do that. All the U.S. publications, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, they were politely rejecting us because they knew they had to talk about something that is going to make them look bad. So we had to travel a lot and search a lot and ask a lot of people and through our filming, find our way to get to these people, which we finally did. But James and I always knew that we needed these people in camera because they needed to say this. They needed to tell people, no, they don't make money, or that's what they think, right? These plus-size models nobody's going to buy this magazine. That's what they think. And I think it's just because of the tradition that they have always been having one type of body. So they think if they're going to change this, it's just going to be good for them. But I think society is proving them wrong now because we're seeing all these beautiful models, not in main publications, but they're starting to be in alternative publications and all kinds of different media. So, and people are going crazy about this because we have been waiting too long for this kind of representation as women, as men, everybody. So I think slowly they're going to start to understand that there is a huge market there they're missing, but they're still stuck in the idea that, no, these women don't make any money, and at the end of the day, we're a business. And it was hard to get to those interviews, but we did it, and we knew that until we got those interviews and those people saying on camera exactly that, we weren't going to stop filming. Yeah.
Obviously, this film takes a different change when we find out a very big piece of information from your friend. Can you share with us what happens, not obviously in the end, but what you guys uncovered right there on camera and how this completely altered what you guys were doing? I think sticking with it was, for us, the audience, was amazing to see, because it was not just emotional to see it happen, but to see how strong she was throughout the whole process. It was extremely uplifting.
Yeah, so when we started with our main subject, Ellie Mayday, we thought she was beautiful and very confident, and we wanted to put her in our film, and she was the catalyst for the documentary. And when we approached her, she was all in, and we were getting ready to film, and she let us know that she got ovarian cancer. And at that point, we thought it was over. We thought the film was done, because without her, there really isn't a film. And so we just backed off, and then after a little while, she came back to us, and she said she wanted to make this part of the film because it is part of her life, and she wanted to share this experience and talk about ovarian cancer in the film. And also she wanted to continue modeling, and this was an incredible relief to us, and we thought that was really amazing that she wanted to continue on filming with us, and so we made this part of the film and part of the story, but always focusing on the modeling, because that's what her goal was. She wanted to become a model, and nothing was going to get in her way. But by getting ovarian cancer, she lost her weight, she lost her hair. She had to undergo chemotherapy and go through all this stuff. But throughout it, she modeled, and she became massive. She made it to New York, her dream, and be on billboards and everything. And all the while struggling with ovarian cancer. So it's an incredible story of perseverance, that she was able to make it that far.
How cathartic has the film process been for you?
Oh, this has completely changed me as a person. as any other woman in the world, I have dealt with my weight my whole life, and have done everything in my power to lose weight, even like using diet pills and things that were really harmful to my health. So when I started this film, I was just, as I said to you before, I was just absolutely inspired by Ellie's imagery online. And I was like, it was like something inside of me saying, finally, there is representation for me and for so many women that have never had it. Like, I've never could open a magazine and be like, oh, that woman looks like me. Never. They all look like I will never have that kind of body. But at the same time, I try so hard to get that kind of body, because you think that that somehow you're going to get it. So it's that illusion that they sell us, the media sell to all of us, for an unattainable kind of image, right? That we will never get, because most of us don't look like a size 0 model that is almost like a super tall, right? So for me, working on this film has changed me as a human, the way I view my body, the way I see other people's bodies, the way that I understand how brainwashed we have been our whole lives to believe that we're not good enough, and that have kept us from achieving other goals, because if you're so worried about how you look, you're not going to be able to go out into the world and do whatever you think is important to you in terms of your goals and how you want to succeed in the world. So I think first of all, we need to get that out of the way as humans, that we are not good enough, or we're not beautiful enough, or skinny enough, or all these things, in order to continue to achieving the goals that we really want, that are outside of how our physique looks. So this has been a life-changing experience for me. And also working with Ellie was her resilience and her powerful view of the world and of herself, and how she went through this entire experience, and being able to be so focused on her goal of becoming a model, even though she was going through one of the most difficult times of her life, or anybody's life for that matter. And I learned a lot from her. A lot from her confidence and her power to push through and say, it doesn't matter that I have this. I'm going to continue my dreams, pursuing my dreams and pursuing my goals, and I'm going to be the most successful plus-size model ever. That was her goal, and she got pretty far. The only thing that got on her way was ovarian cancer, but that also became, she took that as something positive to show to the world that it doesn't matter what you're going through. You can always look forward to something that is going to make you make you happier and make you feel better.
Well, in that case, I want to say thank you for making the film and having the confidence to stick with it, because I think what we get to see is something completely different than any other film I know I've ever seen about this subject matter. And like you said, the fact that it's the first recognition of plus-size models is on its own something, but you've given us something way more and beyond. So thank you guys, and thank you for bringing it to Texas. I know you guys have a long festival life with this film, but thank you guys for coming here.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and for watching our film, and for so for connecting with it. It means the world to us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for interviewing us.